evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Mitchell Ringos. Well, Thunder Bay City Council will be asked to approve over $670,000 in additional costs tomorrow night for the final phase of the Balmoral Street reconstruction. Despite these extra funds, the work would still come in below the city's initial estimate of $10 million. The additional costs would cover more electrical work, mainly at the Central Avenue and Balmoral Street intersection. Along with this, there will be numerous additions to the contract, including tree planting and storm and drainage work. This portion of the work is the last phase of the major reconstruction of Balmoral that began in 2016. It was originally expected to take 3 years, but has faced various delays since then. The city of Thunder Bay has recently welcomed 120 refugees from Afghanistan and Pakistan who escaped terrorism, oppression, and limited rights and hope to rebuild their lives by emigrating to Canada. The refugees attended a gathering this week with local officials who did everything they could to ensure the city greeted them with open arms. Mike Lang reports.
While the holiday season just ended, numerous families from Afghanistan and Pakistan received the gift of a lifetime over the past year or so, the opportunity for a fresh start in a free country like Canada. And on Wednesday, local officials brought them all together to the Oliver Road Community Center, where they enjoyed refreshments and received gifts that were donated by the community. The effort to welcome these refugees into Canada was led by local MP Marcus Pulowski and Afghan mission veteran Robin Rickards, who both tirelessly negotiated with the federal government over a multi-year span before their wishes were granted. Pulowski says refugees from those countries have the same right to start fresh in Canada, similar to other immigrants and their ancestors.
With the possible exception of the Indigenous people, we all came from somewhere else, and because of the opportunity to immigrate to Canada, we've certainly been able to, I think for the most part, enjoyed a much better life than we stayed in the countries we've come from. So I think it's certainly of assistance to them, but I would say it's of assistance to us as well. We need people here in Thunder Bay. We need energetic people who want to be part of the community.
17-year-old Mujga Akbari emigrated from Pakistan to Canada along with her parents and 4 siblings. She is grateful for the opportunity to live in a free country so she can follow her dreams.
Out there, even in Pakistan, I wasn't feeling safe because I couldn't go to school or I couldn't get the education. And I'm so happy that out here, not just my family, but all the families who came from Afghanistan, now they can go to school. Girls can go to school. We can live a better life. People are so friendly. And yeah, these things are amazing.
Mujga adds that she wants to be an AI developer and women's rights activist, advocating for the rights of girls and women in Afghanistan. Now, if Mujga and her fellow refugees are to indeed find a home here in Thunder Bay, Rickard says the local community must continue to welcome them and make it easy for them.
I encourage the folks at Thunder Bay to take an interest in these folks and where they can, get to know them. I've encouraged the Afghans to get to know their Thunder Bay neighbors when they get settled down, because their neighbors are going to be able to help them navigate the community.
Rickards noted that there's a lot at stake for Thunder Bay as well, as this group of refugees, which includes 6 doctors, can take on some of the jobs that so many local workforces need to fill. Mike Lang, TBT News.
Hospice Northwest held an event this past week to highlight the work they have been doing thanks to a grant of just under $20,000 from the Ontario Trillium Foundation.
We all experience grief in our lives, and sometimes we need a helping hand to help us cope. And Hospice Northwest is.
MPPs Kevin Holland and Lise Vaugeois both attended the event, speaking warmly about the impact Hospice Northwest has in the community. The grant was used by the organization to fund a redesign of their Circle of Friends program, making the grief support meeting virtual and extending access throughout the region. Executive Director Sherry Koch says the funding allowed them to run more programs and hire experts to speak with clients.
For example, we had a music therapist come and speak about how to use music as therapy. And that's just one example of what we do with guest speakers coming to speak to clients about their grief journey and how to navigate putting some tools into their toolbox and to support themselves through their grief journey.
Hospice Northwest offers a variety of programs for people who are facing a life-limiting illness or struggling with grief. Coke encourages anyone in the region who is in need of support to reach out and learn more. A total of 9 awards were given out for the 36th Annual Northern Ontario Business Awards, which celebrates the extraordinary northern businesses, individuals, and initiatives making significant contributions to our region, and 3 of those awards were won by individuals and businesses right here in northwestern Ontario. And the first Northern Ontario winner was Thunder Bay's Jamie Oakenfold, who runs Oakenfold Strength and Athletics, winning Entrepreneur of the Year. Oakenfold's business helps women stay in tip-top shape before, during, and after pregnancies, and says she has no plans to leave Thunder Bay, as she said it's the perfect environment for a budding entrepreneur in the health field.
I take kind of a very slow approach when women do get back into exercise, so I help complement the physio's exercises within my workouts.
And taking home the Indigenous Business Awards of Excellence was Supercom Industries with their $700 million, 450-kilometer double-circuit transmission line project between the Lakehead Transformer Station outside Thunder Bay and Shunya to the transformer station near Wawa by supplying skilled labor, negotiating service, supply contracts, and cultivating business partnerships.
And it's things like, an award like this that really kind of just reaffirms. I hope that the next award we win isn't an Indigenous Business of the Year award. I want it to be the Business of the Year award. We need to continue to break that barrier that we're not just an Indigenous business. We are a business who are Indigenous.
And last but not least was Natakimi Nan Inc. winning Company of the Year with 1 to 15 employees, as they have led forest management planning on behalf of 7 First Nations since 2012 and are now ready to break ground on a new head office in Greenstone, capping off a 10-year run that has seen the forest establish a sustainable plan in hopes it will remain viable for decades to come.
We've been able to prove ourselves over the last 10 years that we're doing the job, we're able to do the job, we're going to do the job, and we're here for the long haul. So here's to the next 10.
It was another beautiful day in Thunder Bay this afternoon as the unseasonably mild temperatures continued. The mercury got up to -1 Celsius and local skiers are just loving it. Loch Lomond operating manager Michael Winters says this winter has been great for business so far.
Oh man, it's been fantastic. We've had such a great turnout. The weather's been fantastic. It's been bringing lots of new people out here, which is really great to see. Really try to encourage everyone to come out and enjoy the slopes, especially with such a fantastic winter. It's been so mild. It's fantastic.
According to Environment Canada, the average daily high for this time of year is -8.8 degrees Celsius, but this was the 13th straight day in a row where Thunder Bay's high temperature exceeded that. Since December 27th, the daily highs have ranged from -6 degrees to 0 Celsius, and it looks like that mild streak is going to continue for at least another 6 days. The skiers we spoke to say the conditions have been perfect for an afternoon out on the slopes.
It's really good for skiing, so it's nice temperatures to where you can possibly go anywhere skiing, Mount Baldy, Loch Lomond, wherever you want to go. It's really nice weather today.
I'm just glad it's not like frostbite temperature.
How about you? What do you think of this warm weather?
I think it's nice because sometimes I'm too cold, but I can take off layers now instead of having to put on layers.
All right. How about you? What do you think of this weather?
I think it's nice too because it's good for skiing because we're not cold. It's really nice and refreshing.
How about you?
I like it because I don't have to wear extra layers.
It's just good weather conditions. I mean, it's perfect. The sun's just enough away that it's not too hot, not too cold. It's just perfect.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you ever remember January like this before?
No, not at all.
I have never seen anything like this in the past decade. It's just phenomenal. Everything has been above -10, which is great to bring people out, especially the young kids. They can withstand the cold for a lot longer. They get a lot more runs in. They're really, really enjoying it. Lots of big smiles, which is what we do this for.
And we're now